welcome to Steelers Today. He's Dale Lolley. I'm Dejan Kovacevic. We're both from DK Pittsburgh Sports, and the Steelers beat the Titans here 19-13, and they're still alive, and they were alive going into this. You know, just all you have to do is so sobering when you do it, but is look at the standings.
Staying alive. They're, I guess, like the Bee Gees right now. That they're staying alive. All right, how about they're like Michael Myers right now? You just can't kill them.
Oh, man.
You blow them up.
Dropping some Walking Dead references into coming into.
I keep telling people, are the Steelers a good football team? They're a flawed football team. And in a league of flawed football teams. I mean, that's the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
The Tennessee Titans came into this game at 9-4 and are a flawed football team.
Yeah. The whole league's like this.
Yeah. Dumpster.
Hey, but you didn't pay for this, okay?
But they did enough to win the game, and I thought defensively, was it pretty at all times? No. And the Titans they had some success on third downs. They had some success running the football and continuing to run football, and the Steelers better get used to seeing that.
Oh,
but the other
they should have seen more of it in this game. The
thing that does, though, is it muddles up the football game, and you're not going to run away from somebody running the football if you don't have a star running back, and the Titans don't have a star running back.
Not healthy, no. This football team was able to do something that I found remarkable in this second half. I felt like they connected with this crowd through those takeaways. I don't know that that's happened a whole lot here this season, to be honest. But when you see big-time players making big-time plays, when you see T.J. Watt, Cam Hayward, and Joe Haden, and don't ever forget that Joe Haden is a big-time player, you could sense in this building that there was just this, everyone got behind them again. It was like, okay, we can like you now. You know what I mean? It's okay to like you. We support what you're doing here, even when the offense comes on the field. We're going to support you, you know?
Yeah, I mean, the crowd got into this, and I thought the crowd really affected things, particularly on the Tannehill fumble, on the fumbled snap. The crowd noise was an issue, and it helped turn the football game.
Yeah, and this is something that you had written about beforehand, about how Tennessee has been turning the ball over and how Tannehill hasn't been himself without A.J. Brown, without Derrick Henry. And, they started turning the ball over, but it really wasn't just that Tannehill was doing dumb things. It was big-time plays.
Yeah, and you got, contributions from even guys like Derek Tuska. Taco Charlton had the tip pass that Joe Schobert intercepted. So you got something from beyond the stars as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to throw in a couple other names here, because Cam Hayward made a point afterward telling us that it wasn't just about the main names. It was other guys too. And I'm going to throw in a couple of guys who've been beaten up on a lot, and I am not an exception to that. I've beaten them up as much as anybody, and that's the inside linebackers. I thought Devin Bush played a pretty decent football game.
Yeah, he was coming downhill a lot.
He was making tackles when he needed to. He also was, I thought, solid, not spectacular, but solid in coverage. And then Joe Schobert comes up with a pretty big pick. And that was why they got Joe Schobert. That's the thing that he was good at in Cleveland.
Yeah. I really thought as well that both safeties were impactful in this game. I thought Terrell Edmonds had an outstanding game.
Terrific.
And Minkah Fitzpatrick on the back end with 14 tackles. Both of those guys were active in the tackle.
Okay, Minkah with 14 tackles is one of those things that has to get off the list.
Right.
But Terrell, I thought, did a terrific job of coming up, reading plays, and then cutting them off. Meaning a lot
the backfield.
Of running plays. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, he was really aggressive. And that was one of the things that Mike Tomlin and Keith Butler needed to do, among many. And even then, Dale, there were guys like Isaiah Loudermilk was making tackles like right at the line of scrimmage. And I don't mean to make this sound like it was some superlative defensive effort. It wasn't.
You know what, though? In the year 2020, 2021, whatever we're in now, almost 2022.
They all feel like the same anymore.
If you hold an opposing team to 13 points, I don't care what. I don't care how it looked. I don't care if you gave up 400 passing yards. You know, the Patriots beat the Titans a couple weeks ago, 33-13, and gave up 270 rushing yards to them.
And that's something, by the way, that I mentioned the thing about the crowd. The crowd here couldn't handle that for years.
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Where the crowd would be like, wait a second, you used to give up no yards at all. What is this? Okay,
but it's all about points.
And now I think they're starting to become something of an acceptance. All right, look, you're getting gashed. Everybody's coming down. They're coming down the field on you. But how about a big stop here? How about holding them to a field goal?
Or turning them over. You're allowed to do that too.
Turning it over. You're allowed to do that too. And the Steelers are now
7-6-1.
And whether you're looking at it from a conference standpoint or from a division standpoint, they're still just right there, man.
Hanging around.
Hanging around. You know what? We're hanging around too, and we'll be right back after this break. Well, it wasn't all sunshine and roses here today, Dale. That offense was...
That it was not.
That was rough. And I kept thinking, maybe it was because the way Minnesota went, that you were going to see, okay, now, here they go. Now they're going to come out of it a little bit. And they didn't, and they never threw downfield. And you know how this stuff goes. You don't know whether it's the quarterback or the coordinator or whatever it is. But you want to see at some point or other, just listen, let them throw, man.
Yeah, especially when you get those turnovers in their territory.
Take the shot.
Take a shot into the end zone. Go for the kill. And they just didn't do that.
Step on the head.
And it just, to me, that's an offensive coordinator situation.
It's a mentality.
Because, and maybe they realized or thought that they couldn't block up the front. I mean, Tennessee's got a good, solid pass rush. Maybe they felt like that was going to be an issue if they tried to do something down the field.
Yeah, if you started extending plays, that's when you're bringing Jeffrey Simmons and these other guys into the game.
Yeah.
And Simmons was pretty quiet other than the little low shot he took late that he was penalized for. But that's because Ben was getting rid of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, Landry's a good pass rusher. Bud Dupree's a good pass rusher. They got some guys up front that can affect the football game.
And at the same time, you still got to throw, and you got to get Deontay Johnson involved, and you got to get Pat Freiermuth involved. We'll see how he's doing. He's in concussion protocol, by the way.
That's the second one in a month for him. That's a problem.
And this one was, this wasn't quite what we saw with the Chargers the other night, but it was a little scary.
Yeah.
But okay, then Zach Gentry comes in. It's a tight end play. Zach Gentry goes, what did Chris Berman used to do? The
rumbling, stumbling, bumbling.
No, but he would make those sounds. It was the dude from the 49ers he would do that for. Pull.
Yeah, I mean, Gentry's a big
44,
dude.
Come on, from the 49ers. I'm putting you on the spot, the fullback. Oh. He would make that sound. Boom. Okay, you guys will just put it in the comments, all right? But you got to get the tight ends involved. You got to get the middle of the field involved. You got to get Deontay involved. James Washington got a little bit involved. We'll see what happened to Chase Claypool.
He just, they didn't. To your point, they didn't throw the football a lot down the field, and so they were using the wide receivers to supplement the run game, and that worked a little bit. They get some runs out to the edge. Deontay Johnson's 10-yard run, I think it was opening play of the game, second play, whatever it was. Early in the game, that was their best run of the game.
Yeah, Claypool had
a 7-yard run. But by and large, they didn't test the outside.
Game.
They did early a little bit, tested the outside, and that was it. They didn't do it much in the second half, and it became strictly a field position game.
Well, in general, the running game was this, though. I mean, I'm going to keep using that every time he comes by for something.
It's not the same one. Huh? That's not the same one. That's a different one.
No, but he has to understand. He's up there at the top of the rotunda going, they're going to talk about the running game. Watch this. Najee Harris and the line, between the two of them, and I'm sure that's mostly the line, there's just nothing happening there. I mean, you're seeing every handoff is just a 1 yard or a -1. And I understand you have to keep doing it. And I understand you have to, push forward and everything, but they aren't pushing forward.
You are allowed to throw the ball 2 times in a row.
And
I've seen that. I've seen that in the league in other places.
No. Yeah, he's this guy. We're talking about Matt Canada. I don't know what anybody sees in him, you know?
Hey, this is the guy, when they signed him as their quarterback's coach, I must have been asked 1,000 times, is he the offensive coordinator in waiting? And I said then, what has he done? He's never coached in the NFL before.
Who is he?
And he's done nothing to show me that.
Well, he had a couple of big games for Pitt, like, college football.
Yeah. Well, they're not playing Boston College.
No, or whoever it was that he ran the score up on whenever he was here, a meeting with Pitt. The guy's there's just nothing there, with very few exceptions, where you'll see a play like, I like the plays that they ran near the end of the first half. And I thought to myself, oh, those look like well-designed plays. But I don't think that very often, There's just not much there, and it's a concern. There's 3 games left. What are you going to do? You
can't change it now.
You're not changing now. You're not changing the playbook now. You got to work with what's there. So, what do you do if you're the offense?
Let Bun do it.
Yeah.
You got to now. To be honest, Kansas City. If you look at them next week, are they going to come out and run the ball 45 times against the Steelers? No.
Are the Steelers beating Kansas City Kansas City by scoring only 1 touchdown?
Certainly not going to pick that. But I'll say that. They're going to come out and throw the football. The Chiefs are going to throw the football. The Chiefs are not going to do what the Titans did here. They're not going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball.
Travis Kelce is all the way back, man. He's all the way. You saw that his performance the other night.
But if you could force those turnovers,
and those have been there for the Chiefs. So all I'm saying is the Steelers are going to have to score a lot more than 1 touchdown to win at Arrowhead. But, anyway, what?
Tennessee's defense is better than Kansas City.
That is accurate. Yeah. That is accurate. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching this. We're going back inside where it's a lot warmer than this.